Hey guys, Andrew here with Nashville Severe Weather. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that's just come out for Williamson County. This is going to be for western Williamson County, and it's going to include Fairview here. You see your yellow polygon, and that's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning that's going to be in effect until 3:30 p.m. But you know, it's really about 35 minutes, but really the trend here has been these storms have been very up and down, and you know, if they cause damage, they do it pretty quickly and then they're over with. So not sure if the warning will go a full 30 minutes, but we do have indication of some gusty winds here on radar in western Williamson County here in just a little bit. So let's take a look at where this is, and let's zoom out just a little bit. I'm going to turn the radar off, and you see Fairview included in this polygon, severe thunderstorm warning polygon here, and really that's about it as far as Williamson County. It includes areas like Liberty Hill, Blakemont Estates, Brush Creek, Fernvale, Craigfield, down at the Highway 100 exit down there in let's see, that'd be off 840 there, and that's really about it. Nobody else included in this. Davidson County, you're not included in this warning. You're not included in any warning right now, and then the rest of Williamson County looking pretty good. So that's what we're looking at as far as this warning. Now, what's this about? This is about maybe a potential microburst. We've had these little microbursts today that have dropped out of the storm, and down in Nolensville, for example, caused some damage, and it was very quick. It lasted maybe 1 or 2 radar scans, and we had some damage down in Nolensville in the form of trees and lawn furniture and all that kind of stuff. We're just getting all kinds of pictures of the mess down there. So that's what their weather service is concerned about out here in Fairview and southeastern Dixon County and northeastern Hickman County. That's why they put this warning out. So pretty strong storm. Things packing a punch, and it's got quite a bit of lightning with it here. It's a little hard to see maybe on your screen, but we see a lot of dots here indicating a lot of cloud to ground lightning strikes, and velocity not too impressive really on the radar. We saw just a brief indication there of a microburst down at the ground level going up in the storm here. We can look up a little higher, and we see a little bit of a signature of maybe some downbursty winds that may make it to the surface, but nothing too crazy at the moment. But we sure would be interested in knowing and looking at TBNA actually here as well. Here's TBNA, and we're looking at that same area and really not seeing really much of anything impressive at all on TBNA there, but aloft there were maybe some indications there that the storm could be developing a microburst and cause a problem there. So here's your latest radar image. This is it's thundering and lightning in Fairview with some heavy rain, and you're hearing probably a lot of thunder back to the west if you're in Fairview, and that's over in southeastern Dixon County with this storm that was really right along an outflow boundary. 2 outflow boundaries kind of came together, and those can easily create storms, and oftentimes they do, and that's exactly what's going on there in western Williamson County. So severe thunderstorm warning, if you're just joining us, severe thunderstorm warning in effect till 3:30 is when this one expires. That's about another 33 minutes, something like that, and we'll see how long it lasts. Again, as we mentioned a bit ago, the trend has been for these storms to be very up and down, and so they'll go up, they'll fire up real quick, and when they collapse fast, and when they collapse, that's when the damage can happen, and that's when you get those real strong gusty microbursty winds that hit the ground and spread out in all directions, and you can get some really strong localized damage there underneath those storms. That's exactly what happened in Nolensville here a little bit ago, about an hour or so ago. So that's what's going on. That's why we're on YouTube Live here, and we have this warning. We got another storm up in Joelton right now. It's not really creating much in the way of winds, it looks like, according to radar. Nothing too concerning there at the moment, but that could change. You know, these things, they kind of go up and develop and cause a problem and come back down, and every once in a while we get, you know, some pretty strong winds out of it. Checking TBNA as well up there in Joelton, and again, nothing impressive there at the ground level, at least there in Joelton, but we'll see what they do with that storm here after a while as it continues to develop up there in northwestern Davidson County, but no warning in effect there. So our main storm of concern here is here on the southeastern part of Dixon County and northeastern Hickman County and western Williamson County. So those of you that maybe got an alert on your phone, that's what this is for over there in Fairview. Now let's check this out. I think we've got a I think we have a camera now. You got to kind of tilt your head here in in Fairview. This is the Fairview camera, and sorry about that. It took a little bit of a wind gust, but yeah, definitely some rain there, pouring down rain. We've seen some lightning on that camera as well in the past few minutes, but definitely storm ongoing there in Fairview. Looking there over the new turf there at the Fairview High School, so very nice. And we need to get that camera straightened out there. So quite a bit of lightning on that camera over the past few minutes, but that is included. This location here at the schools is included in the warning, and so you might hear some updates there on dismissal plans at your local school. All right, back to your, let's see, this is a radar picture here. Severe thunderstorm warning inside the yellow polygon. Everybody that's inside the yellow polygon is inside the warning. You're in the warning. It's in effect for you. And if you're outside of that polygon, then you're outside of the warning. You're not included in the severe thunderstorm warning. So Natchez Trace Bridge area, Leapers Fork, Franklin, Brentwood, Nolensville, College Grove, Bethesda, Nashville, all you guys are doing okay as far as the severe thunderstorm warning goes right now. Let's take a look at velocity again and just kind of see if there's anything impressive. And to be honest with you, there's really not. I'm not seeing anything impressive here at the ground level according to radar. Now, you know that it doesn't take just a lot of time before some of these storms can drop a microburst out of there, and you may or may not even see it on radar. It happens so fast. So for that stuff, we go over and we look at TBNA, and TBNA is basically showing the same thing, and really not too much impressive. Now, in the latest scan here, actually, in the latest scan on TBNA and the Nashville radar, we see just a small area of very weak rotation here, and not uncommon to get that in a storm that may last a frame or two. We'll see about that. But right there in southern Dixon County, southeastern Dixon County, and there's your next scan, and it's pretty well fallen apart. So we pay attention to it, but it may last just a minute or so. Just some weak rotation there in southeastern Dixon County. So here it is over on the Weather Service radar. Again, shooting it from a different angle, and you can kind of see that right there. Not particularly concerned about that, but it's there, so we'll talk about it. All right, so as far as Williamson County goes, really not seeing any impressive winds in Williamson County. Most of the action's over here in southeastern Dixon, and that's where most of the lightning is, although you're definitely in range of having a problem here in Fairview with lightning. It's not too far off to your west, but it looks like the strongest winds are there in southeastern Dixon County from whatever there was here just a little bit ago. Kind of scrolling through time here, and you can kind of see some of those gusty winds every once in a while with the brighter reds and brighter greens. All right, I'm going to go back over to TBNA. This is different radar over in Nolensville that took a beating earlier, but it's doing still up and running, doing all right. And looking at the winds here, and again, just not seeing anything too impressive. We never saw anything really bright green, never anything really bright red, so that's good. That means maybe that didn't reach the surface, those strongest gusty winds. So here's really your traditional radar view. This is your rainfall, and this shows just kind of how this has developed over the past little while. You saw kind of an outflow boundary kind of pushed from the southeast to the northwest, and that was some gusty winds that helped trigger some of these storms. Now, once the outflow boundary moves through and launches these storms up, oftentimes they just sort of fizzle and fall apart. So I fully expect that these storms, this warned storm, will just completely fall apart here in the next half hour, and there probably won't be much of it left. So that's just really been the trend over the past little bit in areas that saw storms earlier. Let's widen out the view, and you can see that. So you see that line that kind of moves from southeast to northwest through town, and you see the storms blow up, and then they just collapse right back down. And we think that'll be the trend here in northwestern Davidson and also over there in the warning in Fairview. All right, checking a couple places here to see if there's anything I need to be looking at here. And checking the Weather Service information, no updates from them as far as what they're going to do with this warning, as far as let it ride or go ahead and cancel it, let it go. But right now it continues till 3:30, so that's going to be another about another 25 minutes or so, 27 minutes, and we'll just see how long it goes. Again, the trend has been that these storms go up and then they just fall apart. And that's good in some ways. It's bad in the fact that if they fall apart too quickly, that's when everything can, quite literally just come crashing down. And that's when you get those wind damage reports and patio furniture blowing off the patio and trees coming down and that kind of thing. So that's what we want to avoid. We want them to fall apart, somewhat slowly, not too quickly. All right, so I've got 3:04, and this severe thunderstorm warning here. You're looking at radar, and I'm checking over on the Fairview camera as well, and not seeing anything. Really, trees aren't moving at all over on the Fairview camera, and we got some rain on the view there, but not seeing any. The trees aren't blowing real hard at all, so that's good news over there in Fairview, and radar would support that. Really, we're seeing hardly any wind whatsoever in Fairview, so very quiet there in Fairview. All right, so hopefully get another radar image here in just a minute. It's about time for a new image from Weather Service radar, and there it is. Again, barely any wind in Fairview. Very, very quiet. Pretty quiet. Radar indicates very quiet weather as far as the wind goes there in southeastern Dixon County. But again, it doesn't take a lot of time for maybe some strong gusts to come out. But just looking at this storm, just looking at it, it looks a lot weaker to me than it did a little bit ago. It's not nearly as organized and even as tall. So there's another tall storm getting its act together around White Bluff, with maybe some hail in it, at least up in the top of the storm. But the storm down here inside the warning does look like it's starting to lose its punch, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I'm going to mute 1 second, and I'll be right back. All right, you're looking at radar here of a severe thunderstorm warning there in southeastern Dixon County, northeastern Hickman County, western Williamson County. Again, Fairview's included in that, but the wind looks very calm in Fairview. Not seeing anything threatening there over on the camera off screen here. And then here on radar, that kind of confirms it. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. This storm looks like it's winding down. Not seeing indications of it. We may have seen an indication here earlier. This was at 2:49, and there was a little indication of a small microburst there in southeastern Dixon County, and that's when the warning came out. But that looks like that has dissipated big time. So we're going to let this. We're just going to let this go, and we're going to jump off of YouTube Live. We'll cover it over on Twitter, and we'll of course jump back on YouTube Live if anything gets reissued or a warning extended or anything like that. We'll jump back on and I'll let you know what's going on. But for now, we'll carry it over on Twitter. Y'all have a good afternoon.